talk true sense. Rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone who's precious. You're never gonna get my love, accepting that you're real precious. You're never gonna cramp my style, baby, cause I get a lot of pleasure. And if you wanna test my style, you better have a whole lot of measure. Cause I'm a rock back chick, never tag along the never look back chick. Trendy, a little crazy, intelligently singing rock back chick. No sticks, no stones, or any kind of weapon don't belong here. I don't wanna break no bones, I just want a microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, 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 good morning. Want a microphone, morning. I just want a microphone, morning. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This world is getting so cold, I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my hair, cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sense, rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone who's precious. You're never gonna get my love, accepting that you're real precious. You're never gonna cramp my style, baby, cause I get a lot of pleasure. And if you wanna test my style, you better have a whole lot of measure. Cause I'm a rock back chick, never tag along the never look back chick. Trendy, a little crazy, intelligently singing rock back chick. No sticks, no stones, or any kind of weapon don't belong here. I don't wanna break no bones, I just want a microphone. at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning, put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, 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 good morning.
Smell like smoke. That's this side, right?
Call who? Huh? You're gonna call who?
everybody's getting so lit. good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, morning, good morning.
With a smile on your face. It's Wednesday, the 10th of November, 2021. It's 7 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. Viewers, we are happy to have you joining in here with us, and we continue to give God thanks this morning indeed. I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Maria Richardson George. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to Tobago, Trinidad, Caribbean, those of you viewing from the live. Good morning. Good morning, morning. Julian, I am missing your good morning.
I know. I feel like the song needs to be even louder here.
Yes, we
in
need to
studio
hear,
with us,
definitely.
so that I can hear it resonating with me.
Definitely.
Morning. As we look at this morning, you know, we touch on a bit of what has been happening in the Tobago space. We saw another high school in Tobago activating, Maria, as I would like to say, activating their COVID response almost immediately. We saw a release coming out from the Division of Education.
That is correct. This is with regards to Bishop's High School closing their doors for some time for sanitation. So, you know, taking responsibility, and this is our duty, as Julian mentioned, this is our duty indeed. So the Bishop's High School, and this is in regard to students of forms 4 to 6, they are to revert to online classes from, well, today, Wednesday the 10th. Physical classes will resume on Thursday, the 11th, which is tomorrow. So, and that's just for one day.
And I was very happy, Ria, to see that in responding, the fact that we can actually automatically now transition to online schooling. I like that. So that we are closed for a day or two in order to, you know, sanitize and do what we have to do in keeping with the regulations, and immediately we return to online schooling so that the education process continues. So it's not a case of a day off.
Right. Now, Scarborough Secondary School had to shut their doors, I think, 2 days because of lack of water on the compound. So you had students coming from all over, from 4 to 6, coming from East, West, and North Tobago, and getting to school a few days ago, I think it was earlier this week,
right.
Few days ago, to be told, no school.
Wow.
School dismissed very early that day.
And you know, in all honesty, I don't think they have a choice under the circumstances, because with the pandemic now, water becomes even more critical. You know, we would laugh and say, it's only in TNT when water goes somewhere, work close up, and you don't. Now that's a reality.
Now it is a must. It is very critical to our daily survival.
Correct. That's part of the reality we have to face. What we've also seen happening is we saw, of course, these election meetings continue to take place. We see the PDP continuing in terms of their live on Facebook and putting the information out there. And we also saw the PNM, I think they were in Roxborough.
Segre Complex yesterday. The PDP was at the Ebenezer Methodist School. In fact, they were lined the road, and there was someone on either side. There were persons on either side directing traffic. So Mr. Duke was the music truck and the speakers. They were positioned just in front of, well, at the bottom of the hill, just in front of the school, and you know, supporters just lined the streets. He was speaking from the road, which, I mean, it's Tobago, and it's very much in keeping with the traditional, I guess, election campaign. You know, there was no platform, but it was very Tobago, a very Tobagonian to, you know, the way that he was conducting the meeting. So they were speaking on several issues as I was getting home yesterday afternoon. This was just about 6 o'clock, just about minutes to 6, somewhere there. So they were, you know, it continues.
Certainly. So it gives us a sense of some of the things happening here in our Tobago space. We got to do some quick birthday shout outs this morning.
Yes, I've got
coming
some as well.
To you from Tobago Updates. I want to say birthday blessings to Vanessa Boyce. I know she's on a day or two off to enjoy this birthday. Vanessa Boyce, birthday blessings to you, as well as to Garrett McKellar, Require Scott, and also I cannot forget my very good friend out there in Jamaica, Safer Sunrun. Happy birthday to you, and we trust that you have an enjoyable birthday today. Ria?
I'm taking a 2-minute squeeze here. So we've got a special hello going out to Anna Lindo of Kendall, Tobago, Kendall Tobago. Arnold, good morning to you. And a very special birthday greeting going out to a wonderful woman. Now, if you have attended Signal Hill Secondary School over the last few years, you would be familiar with this very flamboyant, very outspoken, very vivacious Wendy Batiste Henry, celebrating her birthday today. So Auntie Wendy, she's known as Auntie Wendy by my children. Happy birthday going out to you, Auntie Wendy Batiste Henry. And you can expect to see some color today. It's birthday. So you can expect to see an array of color from Auntie Wendy today. So have a great day.
So viewers, this has been our first segment here this morning, and we continue to encourage you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We go to a break and we'll be right back, viewers.
Whoa! It's the Quartz Black Friday sale. With the best-selling brands, best deals, and best offers all month long. You don't want to miss your chance to save on wow deals. Save on smart TVs, major appliances, furniture, bedroom and dining, with lots more to choose from. Shop today with Quartz Ready Finance and pay nothing for 90 days. Don't miss this Black Friday sales event. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Morning, good morning, put a smile on your...
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We are live with you here, and we are coming to you from the Port Mall, 3rd floor Port Mall, Lower Scarborough, Tobago. We are chatting this morning about, are we miseducating the Tobagonians? Here to chat with us, Mr. Rodney Pigott, the Director, Interim Chairman of CivilNet. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Tobago.
It's good to have you on the program with us. Now, let's talk a little bit about CivilNet, first of all, and the mission and the aim of CivilNet.
Sure.
What it is and what it's not.
Right. Well, what it isn't is a political organization. Right? So we're nonpartisan. We're not a political organization at all. What we are a group of concerned citizens in Tobago who want to see Tobago excel and move into her rightful space on this planet, so to speak. So we are pushers, right? We are pushing Tobago and pulling Tobago. We're willing to roll up our sleeves and do the work as civil society and be engaged in all things Tobago 24 hours a day, right? Every day of the year. not just every 4 years.
Now you said we, so this tells me this is not a Rodney Piggott.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. It's an organization. We started off back in, I want to say 2017, as a small group of Tobagonians. We would meet regularly in Mr. Reginald Phillips' home in Buku. We had the idea to come together and talk Tobago.
Right.
Just what does Tobago need? What can we as citizens do to help our government fulfill the will of the people? Because the government cannot do it by themselves. Our elected officials cannot do it by themselves. You can't put 12 people in office and expect them to pull an entire island. They'll need help, and they need the citizens to do their part. So we got together, a group of us, Reginald Dumas, Vanessa James, Winston Dillon, to name a few, George Bob. We all got together, and every Tuesday we would gather regularly in Mr. Phillips' home, sit around a table, and talk Tobago. Out of that talk, we got involved with the 2018 Autonomy Bill.
Right.
So things were drafted that we sent to the JSC. We attended the meeting there at the Victor Bruce building and so forth and so forth. And out of that gathering, that ad hoc gathering, we didn't have a name for ourselves. We brought Dr. His name is the Prime Minister of St. Vincent. Right? We brought him here to Tobago to do a lecture on where the CARICOM was with reparations. Right? This ad hoc group brought the Prime Minister of St. Vincent here to Tobago.
Right.
And so after that, we decided to get a little bit more serious. And we got some other members on board, some other people on board. We had the insight to bring in a lot of young people to innovate. And out of that, once you bring the young people in now, they're like, well, we ain't going with this ad hoc thing. We need a name.
Right.
And we need to register. And we need this and we need that. So that's
tell
how
us
we grew.
Okay, so tell us how you moved from 2018 to now 2021.
Very good. All right. So what we did in 2018 and 2019 is when we brought, I don't know why his name escapes me.
Dr. Gonzalez?
Dr. Gonzalez, here to Tobago. Yeah, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent.
Yeah.
We brought him here to Tobago at the end of 2019. And we then were moving into 2020 to begin serious talks on education. We were planning a forum of sorts to really discuss Tobago's education system and what is needed to reform Tobago's education system. And that was actually planned for sometime in March of 2020.
Right.
And then, of course, you know what happened.
Yes.
The COVID happened and upended everything. So then we had to move online with a lot of things that we did. That's when a lot of young people got involved. And we got involved with the Tobago Channel 5, and we brought the Get 2020 conversations with the candidates. Those are those people that were vying for parliamentarian seats. And we held conversations with them on Channel 5.
Okay.
And at that time, we decided then to get a little bit more serious. And so the name Tobago CivilNet was formed by the young people that actually joined in and said, let's help pull Tobago together.
All right. Now, the topic on the table this morning is, are we miseducating the Tobagonian? Why this particular topic? Why the focus on education for the Tobago CivilNet?
Well, our focus is going to be on all things Tobago. And we know that with any given people, any given population, there are typically about 9 areas of what's called people activity that people are involved with. Politics is just one of them. Education is one of them. Legal, health and wellness, arts and culture, entertainment and so forth. So there's about 9 areas of people activity that every civilization, people are involved with those things in one way or another, your government and so forth, right? So education is one of those areas of people activity that is deemed as one of the cornerstones of any civilization. Education is the way of passing information to the youth coming up behind you.
Right.
So back in ancient times, you know, when we were under the big tree and so forth, there would be Big Mama underneath the big tree telling the stories of how the people traveled from this place to this place, how we planted foods and so forth. And the young would be there just eating it up, and they were able to continue. That was an education system. So the education system today, as advanced as it seems to be, is really about accomplishing the same task. How do you bring the youth up, the generation coming up, and you have the generation going out? So somebody has to pick up where we left off and continue on, innovate on that in order for the civilization to continue as a civilization. That's your education system.
Okay, now there was a forum quite recently on CivilNet where Dr. Winford James was the moderator.
Yes.
He had invited candidates from all sides. However, only two members or two candidates from the PDP, two from the IDA accepted the offer and were on the platform. They spoke on education. This was the same topic actually. Are we misleading, miseducating the Tobagonian? The issue of where we've come from as a people, European-wise, to where we are now. We are, you know, we are academic based, but we are missing some of the. We're missing some of the children, some of the areas within our education system. How does this forum speak to that? And then we'll talk a little bit about some of the members of the panel who would be on this discussion.
Okay. So one of the things that CivilNet wanted to do for this particular election season, because we did the same thing for the election season at the top of 2021, where we held forums and discussions with candidates in civil society. So for this one, what we decided to do was to have a part one and a part two to each of the topics. So we had three areas that we wanted to cover. Education, the pandemic, of course, navigating through the pandemic, the education system, and the third one is going to be on governance, right? So with each of those topics now, we're going to have a conversation with candidates. We invited all three parties and the independent candidate to be part of those forums, where each party will send one of their candidates to represent themselves on each of these panels. Only two of the parties responded, which was IDA and PDP,
But
and of
why,
course
why was that? As far as you know, what information do you have with regards why the People's National Movement was not represented?
We have no information on that because they did not respond to us.
There was no call, no email, no WhatsApp even?
No, we did not get a yay or a nay. So we can't assume why they did not respond. To get that answer, the people have to ask them.
And to date, has there been a response coming out from the PNM?
There have not been a response, yay or nay, to attend. We've also invited all of the parties to participate in a leaders conversation that we've partnered with Channel 5 with. It will be held at the studio of Tobago Channel 5 and moderated, well moderated by, I forgot who is moderating that. But it's going to be well moderated for that particular leaders conference or that leaders conversation on December 1st. All three parties have been invited to that, and only two of them so far have given the nod that they will in fact respond and will in fact attend. We have not heard yet from the PNM as to whether or not they plan to attend that.
All right, let's talk about the Real Things Town Hall, and this is coming out from the CivilNet. The topic again, viewers, is Are We Miseducating the Tobagonian? Tell us about this forum that is taking place tomorrow.
Very good. And the topic, as you asked before, came about again by the young people in the group. They came up with that topic. They said, this is a topic that we want to talk about because it really points to the situation that we're facing in Tobago as far as education is concerned. You mentioned that people are being educated on the academic level, but we're missing a lot of gaps, right? The agriculture section and other sections that are necessary for the community to really advance. Everyone cannot be lawyers, doctors, and these other professional type of occupations, right? Someone has to innovate in the agriculture sector, the fishing sector, tourism and so forth. All of these need innovation. So education should be pointing towards that. So the point of the matter is that if you have a people where the education that they're receiving is not completely serving your environment, it's not serving your people, what will then tend to happen, and what is happening, is a lot of our young people are getting these education and they're leaving Tobago
Yeah, so we're
and
looking at a
going
brain
elsewhere.
drain.
So you're getting
Right.
that brain drain. So that means that even though you are highly educated, you have that degree, you're real smart, you're miseducated to serving your people because the education you're receiving is not relevant to what your people need in this phase of their development. So that's where the miseducation comes in.
All right, so talk to us about the members of the panel who would be on,
Yes.
and what they would be speaking on.
Right, so this will be moderated by Mr. Reginald Damas, right, who is one of our retired ambassadors and the retired head of the PSA, of the public service, a great gentleman. We're going to have education expert, Dr. Verlene Bob Lewis is going to be on that panel also to speak from that expert level. We also have a teacher, Nkosi Fletcher, who will be able to speak from that direction, the teachers of what they're experiencing right now, especially with the online learning and so forth. We also have a youth who is Ms. Janae Campbell, who is currently the president of the Tobago Youth Council. So she'll be able to speak from that youth perspective, the students' perspective, as to what they're actually encountering and dealing with the education system at this point. And then we have a retired gentleman, Mr. George Bubb, who is well versed in the education field of Tobago, who will also be on that panel to speak. And together, we're going to also be bringing the audience into the Zoom room, so that it's going to be a town hall style of presentation.
A virtual town hall.
A virtual town hall where people will then be able to ask their questions directly from the Zoom room or put forward their comments.
Okay.
All right.
All right, and that's taking place tomorrow. That's Thursday, the 11th, November 2021, from 8 p.m. And it's also live on social media. So we invite persons to look on, join the discussion as we focus on, are we miseducating the Tobagonian? Well, thank you so much for being on the program with us, Mr.
Thank you very much. And you guys are doing a fine job.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Well, viewers, we are going to go to our next interview coming up in just a little while with Julian. We're going to be going to Julian in just a little while. But just before we get there, we've got the good stuff to share with you. All right, so Dr. Ronald Neptune is one of the few male pediatricians in Trinidad and Tobago, a great accomplishment at just 32 years old. In his 7 years as a doctor and his time as a pediatrician, he treated children suffering from a myriad of conditions. For him, the job is a fulfilling one, but his journey from Tobago to the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex, Mount Hope, was not without its challenges. My advice for young men: he said it is okay to be unsure or confused about your career when you are young. Confusion brings growth. Before you embark on your career path, find someone who is in the field and listen to his or her journey. Go back to the drawing board and see which journey you wish to make. If one fails, then you already have a map of the second one. Most times we feel badly for failing at one thing because we are never taught how to deal with failure and be able to use it as a building block for our next move. This is where mentors and life coaches are beneficial. Dr. Neptune completed his medical training and postgraduate medical training at the UWI St. Augustine. When he is not attending to the needs of sick children, he dedicates his free time to the Nathan Asher Foundation, which was set up to assist children battling with rare diseases with some of their medical expenses. If you know someone or anything you would like to have featured on The Good Stuff, you can email us at info@tobagoupdates.com or call or WhatsApp 284-6597. Viewers, we encourage you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Whoa! It's the Quartz Black Friday sale. With the best-selling brands, best deals, and best offers all month long, you don't want to miss your chance to save on wow deals. Save on smart TVs, major appliances, furniture, bedroom and dining, with lots more to choose from. Shop today with Quartz Ready Finance and pay nothing for 90 days. Don't miss this Black Friday sales event, only at Quartz, bringing value home.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Viewers, it's 7:27 a.m. Welcome back to Tobago Updates Morning Show, coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. This is the point where we say good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Katia and Koshi. Good morning, Lisa James. Good morning, Rena Allen. Good morning, Davy Nelson, and all of you joining us here on the live this morning for the Tobago Updates Morning Show. In this segment, we speak to a gentleman, once again, no stranger here in the Tobago space, and I'm certain he's probably also known around the Caribbean region as well. Some of you may know him as a diver. Some of you may know him in his expert techniques in photography. But this morning, we are chatting with him from the perspective of Memorial Day as the Public Relations Officer of the Royal Canadian Ex-Servicemen's League Tobago branch. We have with us this morning Dave Elliott. Good morning, Dave Elliott.
Hello and good morning. It's great to be here.
All right. You had to give a morning when you're on Tobago Updates, you know.
Well, if you know, we could have go into the Tobago vernacular. Morning, are you morning? Marriage.
So, as we're chatting this morning, we want to get a sense first. Tell us about the Royal Canadian Ex-Servicemen League Tobago branch. What is that about, for those who are not familiar?
Well, for those who are not familiar, the league was set up because of those persons in Tobago. We have Tobagoans who would have served in World Wars I and II. You know, when you go to James Park and you look at the stone that is there, you see a bunch of names on it. They were actually persons from the island who would have served in those two wars in one way or the other. So the league here on the island would have been set up instrumental to help those persons and the families to whatever issues they have in life, you know, and that sort of thing. In recent times, we would have, just kind of jumping the gun here, but in recent times, you would have found out about Miss Lucille Dennis Cook. She was one of the persons who would have served, and why I would have gone there is that she was instrumental in that she had quite a bit of some of her archives. So she actually had photos, books, medals, and from that we could have actually told what, you know, what that time or that period was like, having to sit and chat with her for great lengths and things like that.
Tell us a little bit about the experience in terms of engaging with some of our veterans and, you know, past servicemen and women as part of the organization. What kind of work or engagement you've been able to do with them over the years gone by?
Well, some of the things that we actually do is primarily because they are elderly persons, right? We would have interviewed them, speak to them. Sometimes we get members of the defense force who might help clean the surroundings, the yard. Incidentally, we only have one person on the island here right now that is still alive, and he lives in Lekoto. He would have spoken about his experience, and well, he has his family very close to him, and he's still very much able to move about. I think in recent times, before COVID, he was traveling regularly. And trust me, I can't miss a Lekoto harvest by him. Yeah, he insist that you actually come. But, you know, in engaging with them, you know, most we do is that I think the league itself offer them certain things because I think during the time which they served, they were children of the crown. So I think they have certain things afforded to them and things like that.
All right. So further to that, and I think it's important, is he willing to put out his name out there, the one from
Yes.
Yes, man, tell us who he is.
Mr. Emmanuel Legol, a proud person, yes. He's always, once we have Memorial Day, he would be there. But because of, you know, we don't want to expose the elderly folks to any sort of gathering.
Yes.
They're not, last ceremony we had, and this time we wouldn't encourage them to actually.
So let's chat about that in terms of the ceremony itself. What we have seen in prior years, we've grown up knowing about the parade taking place, and in fact, you know, wearing the symbol, and we'll chat about that a little later on. But give us a sense of the transition from what persons are accustomed to for the Memorial Day celebrations in years gone by prior to COVID, and what would be happening now during the time of COVID last year and this year.
Well, traditionally, Memorial Day is celebrated, well, you could say the first cannon is sounded on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. So this parade takes place every year on the 11th of November, or the Sunday closest to the 11th of November, whether it's the Sunday before or the Sunday after. This year is the Sunday after. And so this is the 14th. Traditionally, the parade will normally start by the fire service, around that area. Not sure around town. It's a short parade, but it's a solemn parade. A short parade commemorating the deaths of the soldiers. So they would march around James Park, and they'll be there for a little while. You know, they'd have the lane of the wreaths and that sort of thing. And persons were encouraged to come and look at the parade. But because of the COVID-19 situation, we now have just a ceremony. So there won't be a parade. We will only have the activities that would take place inside the park. So persons are encouraged not to come, but it will be streamed live on the Assembly Legislatures page, as well as the Office of the Chief Secretary's page. Also, our page, the Tobago Branch of the Royal Canadian Ex-Servicemen's League's page. So it is just primarily persons who would have to function in the park would be there. And of course, we have a sanitizing station. Everybody must wear black masks. You know, we don't even have a band. We're having some panists that will actually be playing. So it's that scale.
Yes, I suspect in an effort to ensure that we are able to comply with the with the regulations. In regard to, let's going a little bit to the significance of the puppy as we know it, coming up through my school days, I've recalled seeing the puppy, and you know, as you came on set, and folks, he distributed to the entire team here on set at the Tobago Updates morning show, and we had Rhea exclaiming to say, "Oh my God, I can't remember the last time I saw a puppy." Tell us the significance.
Well, back in the day, the puppies, I think they moved from 50 cents to $1. I think the price is now between $3 to $5 for a puppy. You know, I mean, hey, everything.
I mean, if doubles goes up, anything else
could go up, right? So what would have happened? It was back in the wars. As you know, the thing there's what we call, you know, seed dispersion happens via many different ways, with wind and all this sort of thing. And it was in England after a particular battle that, or when people move on the ground. But after this particular battle in this particular field called Flanders Field, the soil was disturbed. And but the next morning, I think it is that the poppies start to grow. They grew. And one former soldier, he would have observed that. I think there's a poem that that has been penned called "In Flanders Field," and after that, I think that the decision was made to actually have that puppy used as a symbol to commemorate those who would have fought and those who would have served in those wars. And up to today, you have the puppy in various patterns and styles, but primarily the same, the red with the black on the inside, being used to commemorate this period every year.
And tell me something, the proceeds, because obviously it's really a contribution you're making more than anything else. What does it go towards?
Well, the proceeds goes towards, number one, the league and helping the veterans. And even here and internationally as well, sometimes we have, some international funding that may come that could help, help us put things together to facilitate the taking care of these people and other things of sort. Also, what we do is that right now we are now, just as I'm here, we are encouraging people to become members of the league. We have a recruitment drive happening, a membership drive, sorry, not recruitment, or membership drive. Persons could log on to our Facebook page and you get information there. We occasionally post information whereby we spread what is happening in the league, locally, regionally. We also encourage persons some persons may have family or know of people who may have served. And this is what keep on happening. What's happening is that people would be constantly called, hey, I know this person would have served, I know this person. And it's so strange that, you would have been a soldier for years and this thing has been happening and only now people start coming forward or coming out the cracks. I think when they all probably would have passed, the intention is to be able to recognize the serving and past members of the regiment, because that in itself too is service towards the country. You may not have fought in a war, but services to country is important, and that brings to me, I'm still a cadet force officer, and services itself is something that we would have done through our years in school, and as we get older, we still, and as you mentioned, the puppy and being a child, as a cadet too, this was a very enduring parade. It was short, but it was intense. You have to be there early in the morning, and you have to be there right on 7, and you have to be there with your rifle in your hand in this position, for very long periods of time, right? But it was intense. So I think service is important, and this is one of the things that we encouraging persons to come out and be a part of the league and see how you could do your contribution towards those who would have fought and served in Tobago.
Give us an idea in terms of, what the current team or the membership is like and other members of the responsible, beyond just the PRO, that persons may be able to make contact. Because sometimes they see the PR person and they mightn't even recognize, but my neighbor involved in this thing too.
Exactly.
So give us a sense of who are some of the other persons involved.
Well, we have our executive committee. We have Mrs. Linda Eastman. She is the president. We have Mr. Benjamin George. He is the vice president, and his father has been in this for many years. So he would have, grown up with seeing his dad doing this sort of thing. Incidentally, Mr. George was living not too far from where I was living, right? And we have Miss Rosie, I think, and other persons, Mrs. Lizama from Bon Accord, persons in Bon Accord. We have Petal. We have Petal, who is, I think, the assistant secretary. So we have a number of persons in the community.
You see what I mean? I know Miss Lizama.
Yeah, you understand? Right? I think she has her family also was one of the last serving members as well, Mr. Michael Hector. He was from Mount St. George. He was a former soldier, and these persons' names are actually on the cenotaph. I have a great uncle whose name is on the cenotaph as well. Right, so I think it's interesting. The people you never could tell who you may be related to. So when you're passing through Scarborough, just take a look on the cenotaph and look at a name. Who knows? It might ring a bell. And sometimes these things unearth a number of different. Hey, you never knew you had an uncle or a great grandfather or somebody who was an old soldier.
Certainly. And just tell us very quickly in wrapping up, Dave, what can we look forward to as times transition? You know, we will get to that point where our veterans will be now recognizing them after they have passed on, because, you know, we are all just here for a time.
Yes, indeed.
What can we, you know, what do you anticipate this kind of celebration would continue to, any transitions we see happening?
Well, one of the things that we definitely want to do is that the league would have, we want to help it grow to different leaps and bounds, apart from just only, not just showing up around November when it's Memorial Day, or they used to call it Armistice Day, or some people probably still do, right? We want to have a number of different activities. Of course, COVID-19 would have definitely put us into this whole, you know, the social media space and push us there very quickly. But to do different activities to make us, I wouldn't say more relevant, but more constant, so people could have this, you know, solid memory, pay attention to service, pay attention to our veterans. I know one friend of mine, he has a medal and says, Dave, you don't know what this medal is for, but his dad had this medal. And it is actually a British War medal. So chances are his father, his grandfather was a soldier, right? So people have stuff and they don't even know what it is. I mean, as the league, we definitely want to have a lot more activities throughout the year, right? We are looking forward to actually setting up our home, if you want to call it that, right? Whereby we could have those artifacts placed where people could come in and see, take a look and learn different things and have a lot more activities. One of the things that we're definitely looking forward to happen would have been so what we call like reenactments, right? Those are things will definitely help teach persons about different things that will happen in Tobago. And we know Tobago would have changed hands a number of times. And one of the things that recently happened, that's happening right now is I think I'll start a lecture series about the battles that would have taken place right here in the harbor. So those are things that actually we are looking to actually move forward to in the years to come, bit by bit.
All right, excellent. So viewers, we have heard it there from Dave. Elliot, thank you very much for joining us this morning on the Tobago Updates morning show, reminding us about the importance of service and being able to be appreciative of those who went out there into the battlefield and fought for us. And we want to continue to recognize the efforts of those significant individuals within our Tobago space, Trinidad and Tobago, and in fact, worldwide. Viewers, this is the Tobago Updates morning show. As we prepare to go to the break, we want to remind you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Whoa! It's the Quartz Black Friday sale. With the best-selling brands, best deals, and best offers all month long. You don't want to miss your chance to save on wow deals. Save on smart TVs, major appliances, furniture, bedroom and dining, with lots more to choose from. Shop today with Quartz Ready Finance and pay nothing for 90 days. Don't miss this Black Friday sales event. Only at Quartz. Bringing value home.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Morning, good morning, put a smile on your
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We are talking about the Tobago Island Market Business Pop-Up. Here to chat with us on what's coming up, we've got Miss Gyan Edwards-Jack, who is the founder, organizer of the Tobago Island Market. Good morning and welcome to Gyan.
Good morning, Ria.
It's nice to have you on the program with us. We always encourage the youth on the program. So we're talking this morning about your Tobago Island Market Business Pop-Up.
Right.
Is this the first of its kind, or is this the first time that Gyan Edwards-Jack is doing this?
Yeah, so this is the first one what we're actually having. It's started for November 27th at the Apex Grounds from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay. Now, tell us what prompted this. I mean, we've heard of pop-up shops in the past.
Correct.
But what prompted you to decide to do this?
So I'm a small business owner, and I usually go to Trinidad for my craft markets and stuff that I go to. And one of the things I felt like Tobago didn't really have was like a culture of going to craft markets. There are so many small businesses right now that are online, and they haven't really had a chance, even during everything that was going on, to meet with their customers and really interact with other vendors and all of that. So I think this is one of those things where I really want people to kind of come out and support local and to see the kind of variety and the kind of talent that we have in Tobago, and also to be able to shop it in a consistent way that they know, okay, they can look forward to it, during Christmas or Easter or seasons throughout the year.
Would you say that small businesses have increased over the last year or so?
Definitely.
Something about us being locked down, people came up with creative ideas
Correct.
to make money.
And the fact that most people the income shifted as well.
Right.
A lot of people lost their full-time jobs.
Right.
A lot of people probably had a job and they lost it, and they kind of delved into something. And I mean, you just had to be forced to be creative to make money and earn. And a lot of people, I guess, realized that they enjoyed it more than their jobs, and they kind of stayed into it.
Right. Now, let's talk a little bit here about the moving that small business, moving that idea.
Correct.
Moving it from idea to
a thing.
A thing. I like how you put it. We go with that, a thing.
Right. So you're talking about the small businesses, or you're talking about the Tobago Island market in itself and the idea?
Small businesses.
Right. So one of the things that is so easy now is with social media and everything, you can have an idea, a concept, and you can just take a photo and you put it on Instagram, and you can begin to sell immediately. And I think that is what people are realizing now. So you're going to see a lot of new shops that are coming up that are born overnight simply because they just put it up and people seem to enjoy it and they just build from there. And one of the things we really want to do is showcase that. I think even though I am a Tobagonian and I've been here most of my life, it was really surprising to see the amount of businesses that we have and the types of businesses as well in the sign up. I think sometimes we assume, okay, we always have to go to Trinidad for certain things, or Tobago doesn't have these things. So it was actually really interesting to see the people that are coming up and the types of things that they're making or reselling and all of that too.
Let me just jump in here with this. You mentioned here taking a picture. It's as easy as taking a picture and putting it up on social media.
Correct.
Now, I have an avocado tree in my yard, and my husband took pictures of the avocados this morning.
Yeah.
And some limes that we have that we're selling, because I said everything that can be sold will be sold.
Facts.
At this point, everything that can be sold will be sold. And he put it up on his status.
Right.
And by this morning, well, I think last night he put it up.
inquiries already.
But this morning, he had a sale for a couple of the avocados. So we're looking at that kind of shift where people are, it's no longer an 8 to 4 job. People are looking at pushing their own ideas.
Correct. Ownership.
All right. Now we're talking about this Tobago Island market. Is it limited to only Tobago vendors? Now you spoke earlier about having gone to Trinidad for your Tobago market experiences.
Yes.
Now we're talking Tobago. Is this going to be limited to Tobago vendors?
I mean, of course not. I mean, eventually I want it to become similar, that I am taking a boat and going over to Trinidad to
You
sell.
want them to take
I want the same
Okay.
thing, and I want people to look forward to it and see that Tobago has a market. I think a lot of Trinidad businesses see Tobago as something that's shipping to TT Post and all of that, but they still haven't really had a chance to really come over and meet Tobago vendors in that same way. So I think by having this consistent market in a similar fashion that they have markets in Trinidad that they know that they can go to and meet with customers, having that format here as well will encourage them to probably try and come over and sell and meet Tobago customers.
Okay.
So, yeah.
At this point, now we're talking later on in the month for the pop-up shop. At this point, how many vendors do you have on board?
So I have 25 confirmed, and it's a variety of things. So ideally, of course, I want to have a host of things. I want to have food. I want people selling their crafts, jewelry, skincare, clothing. I have somebody selling like wooden like shelving and like different
It's
charcuterie
a
boards.
market.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. And I was kind of surprised, like, wow, look at the talent that we have. So it's not only people that make stuff, but it's also if you resell as well, we're also allowing you to come to the market and participate.
So there is still, is there still space for other vendors?
For sure. I mean, the goal, I always dream kind of big. So I want to have like 50 plus people in the market at some point. I want it to be huge. And of course, based on that, things will kind of shift and evolve as time goes by. So I will find space. But yeah, we do have space for more vendors. Yeah, we do have more space. We have been calling as well, trying to get a different variety because I don't want a situation where people come and then they only have one type of thing. I want people to come and be like, wow, look at this, you know, and be excited when they come.
East Indian cuisine, it's on one end. You feel for Italian. I mean, we have it here in Tobago. We really have it.
We have it. We do.
So how can persons contact you for more information, or on the market to register?
Right. So if you want to be a vendor, you can contact us on Instagram or Facebook at Tobago Island Market. We have a form that you sign up. So as soon as you DM us on the page, we will just send you the link to the form, and then you could go ahead and sign up.
And she's speaking technological lingo here. You can DM her, please, Gian. Please, for our viewers out there who have no
message
clue
us.
what you're talking about.
You can direct message us on the page or inbox us, which is the Facebook format, and we'll go ahead and send you a link to a form that you can go ahead and click. Of course, if you're not technologically savvy, we will fill out the form for you. You just have to give us the information. But the form is really just us to have your contact information and all of that, so we could promote.
Okay, so lots of exciting things coming up. And you said there's still space for persons, so we invited the Tobago, and I'm pushing here again. I know you said it's open to Trinidad, but I
have a couple of Trinidad vendors too that are coming up. So I'm hoping that, hopefully everybody can come.
For the Tobago vendors to get on board.
Yes.
What have been some of the drawbacks to doing this?
I think one of the interesting things is, again, the craft market culture. Even though there are shops like this concept isn't necessarily a new thing. I think for where I want to take it in Tobago, it's not something that's kind of been done consistently. So it's been a situation where sometimes it's people's first market, and they really don't know what to do, that kind of thing. So we've been trying to kind of guide them in that way, because the format of a craft market is hard. I think a lot of people think that because people come and there's going to be a crowd that they're going to get sales, but you have to have a pitch, you have to have your table and your booth looking nice, because the competition is going to be fierce there on that day. And of course you want to have vendors and people coming to you. So just the vendors itself and getting into the culture of advertising beforehand and drawing customers themselves and trying to, build that kind of community in the craft market, I think is the hardest thing.
Some advice, some quick advice for some of the vendors out there. Now, in the past, we've been to craft markets and it's just a tablecloth.
You understand.
There's no name, no business name, no nothing.
Correct.
Very quick information. What should they pay attention to as they come out to represent the businesses?
So one of the things I always say is, even before you come on there, people should know you're at the craft market, even at least 2 weeks in advance. When customers, advertise. When people talk to you, they should be able to say, hey, I'll be at this market. So you have people coming to you already. On the actual day, you want there to be a reason that people come and stop by you. Whether it's a tablecloth, as you said, some kind of a banner, whether you're doing samples. You need to smile at people when they're passing. You can't be on your phone. And you need to have a little sales pitch, like a little elevator, 30-second pitch ready. Because people don't have time. When people pass, if you realize you can have a nice smile and you tell them about your product, they're going to stop and have a conversation. They mightn't buy, but they'll take your business card and, you could go from there.
Now, viewers, she could have bottled that and sold it, okay? That was some good information there that, we should have been paying for this, okay? So thank you so much, Gian, for being on the program with us. And it's coming up. Remind us of the date.
November 27th at the Apex Grounds, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Very good. Thank you so much for chatting with us this morning. Viewers, we encourage you this morning to share the live, share the live, share the live. We've got this day in history coming up, and we encourage you again, share the live, share the live, share the live.
Whoa! It's the Quartz Black Friday sale. With the best-selling brands, best deals, and best offers all month long. You don't want to miss your chance to save on wow deals. Save on smart TVs, major appliances, furniture, bedroom and dining, with lots more to choose from. Shop today with Quartz Ready Finance and pay nothing for 90 days. Don't miss this Black Friday sales event. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
This day in Tobago history. Did you know that on November 10th, 2010, special honor was awarded to surviving Tobago World War I veterans to commemorate the signing of the armistice? An armistice usually precedes a peace treaty. An armistice is an agreement to stop hostilities or surrender in which an army agrees to give up arms, or a ceasefire in which the parties may agree to temporarily or permanently stop fighting. Though the World War I armistice was signed on a railway station and took effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, 11 years ago today, the then Chief Secretary Orville London presented hampers to the 3 surviving World War II veterans in Tobago, Major William Herries, Comrade Josie Eastman, and Comrade Michael A. Hector, on November 10th. In addition, veterans around the world are commemorated on Remembrance Day, which is customarily done on November 11th in observance of the armistice. But London thought that there needed to be a more personal and individual recognition of Tobago's veterans. This was This Day in Tobago History. My name is Devona Dana. Back to you.
Morning viewers. It's 7:57 a.m. as we're in the final segment here of the Tobago Updates morning show. We are indeed happy to be here with you, and we just saw in that segment This Day in History, and I want to take the opportunity here to say good morning to our former Chief Secretary Orville London. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, sir. Former principal.
Yes.
Former vice principal, Scarborough Secondary School. Former principal, Signal Hill Secondary School.
High
former
Commissioner.
Chief Secretary.
Certainly has made his contribution to the island in terms of really giving, and at this point being able to enjoy retirement.
Definitely, definitely. Julian, we send out a speedy recovery to Mr. Stanford Calendar. He's still on the mend, still recuperating. And to Miss Soy. Miss Soyafat?
Yes.
Tobago knows her as Miss Soy. There was the Soy's pharmacy at the NIB Mall for a number of years. So we say, speedy recovery as well to Miss Soy, who fell ill just a few days ago, but she is on the mend. So we say speedy recovery to you as well.
Yes, most definitely. And I like to, as I would usually say to Dr. Angus, that's Dr. Angus riding body, Yes. Mommy and daughter always on the move. So
always really, on the pump.
Yes. So we're really praying for that speedy recovery. Yeah. And this morning we want to continue to thank our viewers, Rhea, just to recognize a few. I see we have Latoya Anderson on, Davina Nelson in the mix, Kuki Melville, Teresa Allen. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us and continuing to share and to support the Tobago Updates morning show. Folks, this is Tobago content coming to you from Tobago, by Tobago, and we really want to express our continued appreciation for the love and support.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up here. Julia and I are sporting our puppies. Yes. I haven't seen a puppy in ages, but definitely we will be wearing our puppies. In fact, we've been mandated by Dave Elliott to wear our puppies all week. All right, so we trust that you have a great day, Tobago. Stay safe on the roads. Remember to wear your mask, sanitize, and socially distance.
Bye-bye, folks.